Okay. Well, that was worse than I expected in terms of the stream. So anyway, it did finish making that plot, the colorimetric plot of that episode, and so there it is. It is interesting because it's more widely scattered in the middle part and then more concentrated in the blue purpley area. So that's interesting. So let's see, are you all back too? Let's see, get the chat here. I'm back. I think I'm back anyway. So yeah, so that was a lot worse in terms of the stream than I expected it to be. I had to hard reboot my computer, like hold the power button down, kind of reboot. And then when you do that on this kind of computer, it has to do like a memory check to make sure that nothing's messed up. And so that took a while. And then I had to rebuild all the browser session. Anyway, I'm not gonna do that again on here, but trust me, it works. Like it did work, and I wanted to show you that it works. It usually doesn't have that particular problem. I think just I was doing so much with streaming at the same time that it just it gave up. So I wanted to show you a couple other things, and then hopefully they won't kill the thing anymore. So image or IMJ, this thing that I made, is JavaScript based. It runs in a web browser, and that's part of its limitation. It has to run just in your RAM basically on your computer. Now this is inspired by a much more powerful tool called ImageJ, which the National Institute for Health makes. I'm not sure why they make it, but you can download it from imagej.net. It's a Java application, not JavaScript, and it's much more powerful and complex. And honestly, I only know how to do a few things with it. This particular version of it is called Fiji, which is a distribution of ImageJ, and I found it just this morning, Fiji worked better than ImageJ. I couldn't get native ImageJ itself working, but Fiji is the one that worked this morning for me on this computer. And it'll come in different versions, but let me show you. I'll try to do some stuff with ImageJ and then see if it'll work or not. But let me first show you what kinds of things it can do. So let me switch to my other screen capture thing. So this is the download page. Obviously, ImageJ itself looks like this. It's this little windowy thing, and you can do various things with it. The main thing you'll be doing is importing an image sequence, which I'm not going to do yet because that might take a lot of memory. It might kill the stream again, but I will try that in a moment. Ultimately, though, what you will probably be able to produce with this is something like this. So this is an image I made earlier this morning out of all 8 or 9 SpongeBob episodes that I have here, compressed into a single image. And if you look at this, it's interesting because you can kind of see SpongeBob in this. Like right here, this looks sort of like his eyes and then his yellow body. So that's because, as you would expect, he tends to show up in a lot of the frames. So this is called a Z projection in ImageJ, and I can show you how to make that. Also, while I'm here with this particular view, there's something else I made the other day that I thought was pretty entertaining and you might enjoy as well. Hopefully this will work. But this used something called Runway ML. It's a machine learning GUI, I guess, toolkit. And you can do, you might have seen things like this. There's the website thispersondoesnotexist.com. There's various deep dream kind of art where you can train a computer, a neural network, on a set of images, and then it teaches itself how to draw new images like those ones that you trained it on. And so this is one where I used Runway ML, and there was a neural net that already knew how to draw flowers, and then I gave it a whole bunch of all these images, these frames from these SpongeBob episodes, and I said, okay, these are flowers too, so draw more flowers based on these new flowers that I'm giving you, if that makes sense. And it came up with some pretty interesting things. So let me see, maybe I'll start with the images it generated. I'll click on a couple random ones here. So these are images from SpongeBob. I like the three-eyed SpongeBob. I mean, these are, again, this is a computer trying to draw frames of a SpongeBob episode with pretty entertaining results. Um, I like, I like this little guy in the background here. And you can also have it generate what it calls a latent space exploration, where, if I understand correctly, the idea is that the way that this computer, this neural network, understands images is it thinks of them as part of in-dimensional space, and every image is particularly is in some specific position in that in-dimensional space. But because there is that space in however many dimensions, it implies all the space between the images, and then you can have it just explore that space. And this is what it came up with, exploring that space. Hopefully this doesn't mess up the stream, but this is basically walking its way through several images and seeing how they work. Yeah, mildly terrifying, as Rachel says. But that's part of the fun of computer-generated art, I think. Mildly terrifying is a good place to be. And it just goes in a loop like this. Pretty cool looking. So I'm gonna exit that. Hopefully that didn't mess up the stream. I don't know. I really don't know what's gonna trigger stream errors, so I'm a little afraid to try anything that's too graphics intense. Okay, so I'm gonna try ImageJ. Actually, no. First, I'm gonna show you some command line stuff, and then I'll try ImageJ. This command line stuff shouldn't be a problem, but like I said, I'm not sure. So this is what I do to make images out of a video. This is the part where I can show you how to do this on your own. This is the terminal on my Linux computer here. If you have a Mac, you have a terminal that's very similar. If you have Windows, you have the command line, and that's different, but you can often do similar things in it. It's just a little different. So this is, where am I looking? This is what I do. So if you've never worked in a command line environment before, it's not too hard to pick up, but it is certainly disorienting if you've never been in it before. So I'm going to try to take, let's do this culture shock one. So I'm going to make a folder here called culture shock. And then I'm going to use a program called FFmpeg. And FFmpeg is very powerful. It's a command line utility that does all kinds of things with video files. And what I'm going to do right now is extract some frames. I'll do that when you do -R and then you give it a number, the number after it is how many frames per second. So this is going to be 1 frame per second. And I need to put them into this folder here. I know that if you've never done this before, this is totally like I'm just typing nonsense here. But what this is going to do is use FFmpeg to read in this particular AVI file, extract frames at a rate of 1 per second, and then save those frames in the culture shock folder using this naming template here to save them as JPEGs. So this will take some memory on my computer. I don't know if it's going to kill the stream or not. I hope not. If it does, this shouldn't kill my whole computer, so it should be pretty quick to bring it back if indeed it does have some problems. So we'll try it. We'll see what happens. This is FFmpeg running for a bit. So I'm just going to let this go. It shouldn't take very long. This is a pretty short video. And I'm just watching the bitrate here. The bitrate displayed for me is delayed, so if there is a problem, I might not have seen it yet. Okay, so I'm done. Didn't look like there was any issues on the stream. So, okay. hope that's the case, that you didn't see anything. Anything weird on my stream manager. So, okay, so I think it's done. And what that did is it should have put, this is a culture shock folder I just made. It should have put all these images in here, and it looks like it did. So these are images that I could bring into my thing, IMJ, but I'm going to try to use ImageJ on it instead. So hopefully this doesn't get weird. So yeah, thanks Rachel. So I'm going to go to File, I'm going to import, And there's basically 3 or 4 steps here, and these are the steps that you do, and these are also listed in the DHQ article, and I think in the image in the module too. But you go to image sequence to import an image sequence. It wants to know which image sequence you want, and I want the one I just made, which is here. Lets you just open a folder, and I think the default settings here are fine. So again, hopefully this is going to take a bit of memory, so hopefully it's not going to kill the stream. We shall see. And I'm just going to watch the bit rate here. I'm not going to do much else, but you see the progress bar. Assuming this is displaying normally, then you'll see the progress bar there. Almost complete. And basically it's reading all those images into memory. This is the first step that it does. Okay, stream looked okay while that was happening, and looks like it works. Good. Okay, so this is now that entire episode, but just all of those images from that episode arranged. Oh, it did it black and white. Wait, why? Wait, maybe that's just a preview. Okay, maybe I might have to redo that, but let's try it anyway. Now what we're going to do is do what it calls a stack. If you go to stack, you can see there's things like the different color metric stuff, and the barcode you could do from different tools here. But I'm going to be doing a specific thing here. The montage. That's the montage is where you see it all like arrayed as a table like that. What I'm going to do here is called a Z project. Z projection along the Z-axis, like coming toward you, right? And for the projection type, some slices average and some look similar, but some looks better usually. And it has to do with the color, the way the color is coded in as a mathematical concept. So hopefully it has the whole image and not just the black and white one. Otherwise, this might look kind of different, but we'll see. Okay, so this is, yeah, no, it's just the black and white one. Great. Okay, that looks really cool though. Huh, I don't know where these like X and Y thing. I mean like a chain link fence sort of look. Interesting. Okay, I'm gonna try this again and see if there's something I did wrong in importing it. Image sequence. I mean, this episode's not black and white, is it? Maybe I have to convert it to, because there's a grayscale button, but I didn't click that. So, okay, I think converting to RGB is going to take a lot more memory, but I don't know. Let's try it, I guess. I mean, 665 is really just not that much. So let's see. I can kind of see my stream seems like it's doing all right. I just don't know why it came through black and white. Okay, so let's see what happened here. It says it's in RGB. Okay, so there's some color. And there's that pattern that I saw in the previous image, this chain link. I guess, is that the background of the Krusty Krab? I mean, maybe that just shows up a lot. Okay. So now that I have this, I can try this Z projection again, and it'll probably look more colorful. So we go to Image, Stacks, Z project, some slices. And you can see it's taking a little bit more time because it's actually processing the color. There we go. Okay. So that looks pretty good. I mean, you can definitely see this episode. I mean, it definitely looks like they use a particular shot, essentially, of a table at the restaurant, I guess. I have not watched this episode, so I don't know what's going on here, but looks like the Krusty Krab has undergone some renovations. And so, yeah, you can kind of see that. And again, you sort of see you can kind of see SpongeBob's face in there a little bit. So, you know, that's something that kind of confirms our idea that this is what we think it is. So, is Rachel, are you sharing? Are you sharing? I don't have my Slack open. Yeah. Yeah, it's that wall, I think. So let me just share what I ended up making. Oh, actually. So once you get one of these, by the way, you do have to save them. They aren't saved anywhere. They don't. You essentially have to export it. So you make sure you save it. And let's see. Michaela knows this episode, the talent show. Is that what it is? Like I said, I don't do these. I want to do file save as. Yeah, I'm gonna save as JPEG. JPEGs are usually the best image source, image type. Let's put that here. Here it is. So that's it, right? I mean, that's the Z projection style of image. Now, what you do with these images is, of course, worth reflecting on. Sometimes people just like doing this just to see what it looks like, and then it's just interesting to look at, so you call it art, and that's fine. I mean, that's the perfectly acceptable outcome of this module, is like you think it looks cool. And in fact, some people do just do this as art. So Caitlin reminded me of, what is this website? There's an artist, Salavan is his name, and I'm probably typing that wrong. Jason Salavan, there it is. And he does work like this as art, essentially. So he's done things with, style. This YGAN. GAN is a generative adversarial network, which is what I just did with the mildly terrifying SpongeBob generated things. This is an artist who works with The Simpsons a lot. So this is like every couch gag combined into one, I guess, up to 2016. I don't know if he's using image data to make these, but there are certainly there are certainly ways to do this, right? I mean, and so he's projecting these in different ways. This is different pay-per-view networks, I guess. I don't know. I mean, there's different things you can do once you have a bunch of images, and then different ways you can project it. And that's what he's showing us here. This one, oh yeah, this one actually, it combines a whole bunch of episodes. Like, it does that sort of combined thing, but for for several episodes, 26 seasons worth of episodes at each second of each episode. So this is like a you can certainly see some aesthetic compositional choices in it as well. So it's something that can be used as an analytical thing. So yeah. Anyway, so I think that's a pretty good introduction to a lot of things. Sorry about the big delay in the middle, but I know not to do that now, not to try to do that live. I'm going to have to reconstitute all those for the next stream so I can have some things to show them. So I'm going to take a break and get some more coffee and set that up again for an 11 o'clock. Sounds overloaded. Did you hear it? Did it play the sound? I didn't know it was playing sound. Sorry about that. I didn't have, because I don't have any speakers on this computer, so I didn't know it was playing sound. Sorry about that. What did it sound like? Just like roaring sound, I would think. Yeah, I figured. Yeah, because I've tried things like this before with sound, and like combining images, flattening them all to one, looks like this. Looks kind of interesting. But once you get past 3 or 4 sounds, it's basically white noise, and I've tried that, and it just is not nearly as interesting as flattening images. Airplane. Okay. Wow, sorry about that. I didn't know how it was. I will certainly check the. I will check my sound settings next time before I do that. Okay, so let me turn off the screen capture. All right, well, I think I'm going to wrap it up. I think that was a pretty good intro. On Wednesday, I will do either networking or mapping, but maybe both, because sometimes you can use the same tool for either one, so maybe that might be something I can combine. But yeah, that was my introduction to image visualization or cultural visualization, whatever we're calling it. Thanks for watching. Sorry again about the big delay in the middle there. And don't forget to complete your week end of the week report thing. If you haven't already done that, just let me know that you're still out there, still checking in. And yeah. All right, well, have a good afternoon. Thanks for watching, and I will see you, or you'll see me on Wednesday. All right. Bye.